In the Know, a radio program talking to the newsmakers in Ogle, Lee, DeKalb counties, and beyond, keeping you in the know. Here's your host this week, Gary Petersen.
Mayor John Bearrows, good morning.
Good morning, Gary. How are you?
Good. Glad to have you in after a lengthy meeting last night.
Yeah.
Give us some of the highlights.
Well, we had a public hearing. If you remember back at the last meeting, we approved borrowing some money for some infrastructure projects, and one of the requirements is that you have to have a public hearing about the projects. And so we had that public hearing last night, heard a presentation from a representative from Fair Graham, and these projects are going to be, and it's very exciting because part of this project is relocating the sewer line on Route 251 North, which is a part of IDOT's whole oversight on the project. It's one of the things we had to do. So that's encouraging that 251 is getting closer.
Finally. Yeah.
A little bit at a time, but it's very encouraging. And then the new Well 13, the new well house, that'll be another infrastructure project. And then the last one was the replacement of some lead-based pipe service projects to get that all cleaned up. So all three of those would be big projects for the community. And like I say, getting rid of those lead-based pipes. We don't have that many left. I think they said we had 5 or 7 services we have to replace yet, but then some galvanized, downstream galvanized piping has to be replaced as well. So, it'll be kind of a big project. I think the total project back 2 weeks ago was up to $20 million for the whole projects, all three of them. But yeah, the new well out at by the tech center, that'll be a new well going in. So that'll be a big project.
There's work going on all over downtown, out by 39 and 38, 251 maybe starting. It's just a workplace.
Yeah, there's a lot of activity. They're getting started again downtown with this weather breaking. They're being able to get started, and we've got signage up. And we encourage people in this downtown project. We know there's going to be some inconvenience because there's going to be some street closures, there's going to be some alley closures and such. So we encourage folks just to please reach out to those local businesses and support them. All their front entrances are open, so you might have to use their front entrance in the case some in the 400 block. But we just encourage people to reach out and help support those businesses through this tough time. But when this is all done, the end result is going to be amazing.
Sure. You did some action on nonprofit liquor licenses last night.
Yeah, I'm very proud of that. I'm really proud of our council for supporting that. Our small groups like the Moose Lodge, the VFW, Vince Carney Theater Group, those three are all non-for-profit groups, and yet they were paying the same liquor price as everyone else. And so I felt that maybe giving them a break would make it a little more palatable for them to remain open and remain flexible. The VFW's got a few things going on with the Queen of Hearts and such, but obviously the Moose Club has different guidelines, and a lot of what people don't understand is that the Moose Club, because of Moose International, they're not allowed just to open up to the general public like some other private clubs are. So, and you have to treat everybody the same. So my proposal last night was we just lower the liquor license fee to all three of them to a flat $100 a year, and City Council approved that. So many thanks go out to the City Council for supporting this because, all those groups do a lot for our local community.
Sure.
And, we need to try and help them survive and thrive. So I really appreciate the council supporting that. We bought a couple of pieces of equipment for the Public Works Street Department, a mini excavator and a tractor for mowing. It's you stop and think about it, and all the areas that the street department has to mow and stuff, it puts a lot of time on these tractors. So this is a replacement of a unit that we currently have. And then the mini excavator, with all the many times we have water line breaks and such, and that's what the mini excavator will be used for there. And then we also had from Adam Lanning with the Water Rec, they're going to liquidate a few of their old vehicles because we've gotten onto this rotation with Enterprise so that we lease vehicles now. And so the old vehicles we're going to send back to Enterprise, and then they credit us whatever those vehicles are worth against what our new ones are. So financially, it makes a lot of sense to do that. It's easier to cash flow a payment than it is a purchase, and especially when you have a city with as many vehicles as we have within the city, within the various departments. We're a little bit unique. We have more than the average, and all those folks that are working have to have something to drive, and so this helps make that a little more palatable.
Well, there really is a lot of activity going on. If anybody wants to know anything, they can always get a hold of somebody at City Hall.
Oh, absolutely. And one of the other things we did, too, we've talked about in the past about our project west of town, the new substation out there west of town, and last night we approved purchase of some wire, which is a part of that project as well. Blake Tolliver, with the Director of Public Utility, or the RMU Director of Utilities, requested a purchase of some wire for that project, which is all a part of that whole project overall. So all in all, we made a lot of progress with a lot of projects that it touched in different areas of the community, and they're just doing a great job, and they're staying within budget. And I know a couple of the things were under what we had budgeted for, which is unusual. A couple of years ago, we were just coming out of the pandemic and everything was way higher, and so we're pretty comfortable with where we're at right now.
Well, I know you're looking for a new city manager, and you can't talk a lot about it, but the process is underway.
Yeah, the process is underway. We've had applicants come in. I think the total number of applicants was around 40. So there was a lot of interest in our community from near and far. So hopefully through that process, we'll begin our interviews the end of March. We'll begin our one-on-one interviews with the final candidates. And like I say, I hope by May or June, I hope we'll have somebody in the ranks that will take over, whoever that is, and we'll go from there.
Big process.
It is, and it's what's very unique as I look through the applicants, when you look around at all the various cities that they're coming from or potentially coming from, once again, Rochelle is very unique. Our budget is among one of the highest because we have our own public power. And it's just very unique to look through those, and you see that, some applicants had, they've dealt with 50 employees, and we've got, with full and part-time, we've got probably close to 200 full and part-time employees. So it's a big project. It's a lot to undertake. But, as I had made the comment last night at our meeting that, we have great department heads in place. So if you have an applicant that's not totally familiar with any one particular part, we have great department heads that run that department. So the city manager really just kind of keeps everything in check and keeps it all moving forward as a kind of a point of contact. And very proud of our department heads.
And if anybody has questions on anything, they can always contact you or any member of the council or, for that matter, City Hall.
Yep, absolutely. And I encourage you to, if people have questions about the streets, they can reach out to Tim Isley direct. They can reach out to the interim city manager, Sam Tessero. I encourage, I don't mind if they call me, but, people have to understand, too, that the city council members really are not involved in the day-to-day operations.
Sure.
And, I encourage them to deal directly with the city manager, or if they have a question and can't get a hold of him because he's busy, I don't mind fielding those, and I'll forward those on to the city manager. We had a couple calls. I had a couple calls yesterday that somebody said, "Hey, I had a question, didn't really know where to go," and I just kind of steer them in the right direction. And all of us try to stay out of the day-to-day operations, but it's hard when you're in a small town and everybody knows everybody, and it's easy to reach out. Most of them have your cell numbers anymore, and but we try to keep things intact with what our job truly is on each of us.
John, always good to see you. We'll see you in a couple weeks.
Sounds good. Thank you, Gary. Have a great day.
John Bearrows, Mayor of Rochelle, my guest this morning. We are talking now with Erica Holloway from Focus House. She is the executive director for the foundation. Good morning.
Good morning.
Glad to have you in this morning to talk about all the good work that Focus House is doing in our community. So I guess just give us a background on Focus House.
Sure. Focus House here is in Ogle County. We serve youth ages 12 to 17 who are involved in the judicial system.
Okay. And it's been going on for years because it's your anniversary, I believe.
Yes, we just celebrated 50 years of the Focus House.
Oh, wow. How'd that go?
Amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing.
Well, that's great. 50 years of doing good work for the youth in the community. And, of course, coming up, you've got a big fundraiser, which helps support the house.
Absolutely. This year, we are celebrating our 25 years of spaghetti lunch. This year it is April 15th. And again, we're offering free delivery and local pickup out at the Focus House.
Okay, so how does one get their spaghetti delivered, like a business, an office somewhere? You probably get a lot of support.
Yeah, absolutely. All they need to do is send us a message, or go directly to the website. You can pre-order, and everything is there as far as what time, how many you want, and you can even pick your salad dressing.
And this will support programs for the at-risk youth that
Absolutely.
you serve.
All of these funds go right back to the youth. It goes to basic hygiene, clothing, transportation. We do help a lot with their families, things like that. So it's very crucial.
Well, obviously, there's a lot of need for funding because you serve quite a few youths on a regular basis.
Absolutely. Last year, we served over 115 youth, and that is residential and outpatient. So that's pretty remarkable.
And that takes a lot of money.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. A lot of resources.
So the spaghetti luncheon is just one way to help out. Are there other ways people can help Focus House?
Absolutely. You can actually go to our website. You can donate. You can volunteer to help. There's tons of things on social media. Right now, we have a change going on just to show you support for the Focus House and our new building adventures.
Yeah, so you're trying to get a new building out there, and that will take some work and take some doing. So not a lot you can say at this point.
Right. We are definitely working on it. We are so excited for this, and we're very grateful for everybody's support in the community thus far.
So I guess stay tuned because more to come on this.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So how does a youth end up at Focus House? I mean, obviously there's a troubled past somewhere, but then I think the court appoints them?
Yes. So the court does appoint them. Usually these kids have tried other resources and it just didn't work. That's why Focus House is so unique. Our residential treatments are just remarkable. We really can help individual children versus, the general public. We're really more pin-focused.
Well, I know in talking with Focus House representatives in the past, there's a lot of great success stories from Focus House.
There is.
Yeah, I mean, there's people walking amongst us that, had that troubled past, and now they're just as good as anything.
Absolutely. It's remarkable. We had a couple of guest speakers at our 50th who had gone through the program and who are now thriving local citizens who donate back to us, who are very generous. And it's remarkable to hear their success stories.
And it started 50 years ago.
Yeah, 50 years ago.
That's really remarkable. So it is time for that new building.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What else do you want to tell us about Focus House this morning? Anything else?
Yes. We also have a T-shirt going on for our 25th year this year. So it is a limited edition T-shirt. All of our major sponsors are on the back along with our custom logo that we made this year. So those are also on the website, foundationforfocushouse.com.
So any information or to get a T-shirt, just go there.
Absolutely. Focushouse.com.
All right. Erica, good to see you.
Thank you so much.
Erica Holloway, my guest this morning, Executive Director for the Foundation for Focus House.
Thank you for listening to this week's In the Know. The program returns next week at this time with another great conversation with someone from your community.